When the 347th U.S. Infantry Regiment began its occupation of Plauen and its surrounding on April 16, 1945, the war had ended in our part of Germany. It was finally over, thank God. All of us now lived crowded together in our small country cottage because we were all homeless and there was no other place to go. Our perception of the future was a large, nebulous void. But then, the past had taught us to live one day at a time. We were incredibly relieved that the war was finally over, but also full of fear and trepidation about how our occupiers would deal with us. Our first introduction to life under occupation was flyers disseminating new laws instituted by the American military authorities. So you were under the Americans then?
Yeah, at first.
Some of them were, these laws, a curfew from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m., travel restrictions outside our place of residence, hand wagons, bicycles, and baby carriages were banned. Wow. Later rescinded. All assets were frozen, and all valuables, including foreign currencies, had to be handed over. Gatherings of groups of more than 3 or 4 people were forbidden. All men between the ages of 14 to 65 and all childless women ages 14 to 35 were required to sign up for, this is what got me, rubble removal, or they would not receive ration cards.
And body removal.
A new mayor was sworn in to reestablish city government and to work with the American authorities, with English as the official language. None of these things affected us to any extent, and most of them were rescinded anyway after the official end of the war on May 8. All things considered, we were happy with the turn of events, and we said, thank God it's the Americans and not the Russians. Grandfather immediately got busy looking for a suitable piece of wood. And when he found one, I set to work transforming it into the likeness of the American flag. Wielding a brush with enthusiasm, I was happy to contribute my artistic talent in creating this masterpiece. It was a very nice looking flag, but painting all its white stars on a blue background with red and white stripes under Grandfather's direction wasn't easy. I worked very hard to get all the stripes straight and all of the stars in the right place. It turned out very well in my opinion, and I was proud of my achievement. This piece of artwork, about 18 inches by 24 inches, and it was wood, about 18 inches by 24 inches, was nailed on our front gate. Grandfather, did you draw that?
Yeah.
Oh, she has a picture with it. Get the book and see the picture. Nailed on the gate. The piece right here. Grandfather had put the garden property in Uncle Rudy's name before the war, and Rudy was an American citizen who lived in New Jersey. The flag was to apprise the incoming victorious army that this was American property and to be recognized as such.
But I wanted to say not to be messed with.
It wasn't long before columns of armored cars, tanks, and jeeps started rolling by. We children sat by the garden gate under the American flag with baskets of flowers and threw small bouquets at the passing army. That actually happened?
Yeah.
That just wasn't a movie scene?
No.
It didn't take us long to find out that this was a good idea. Often the smiling GIs threw back packs of chewing gum, a novelty for us, or if we were real lucky, a Hershey bar. That was the first time I tasted chocolate. This change in our lives was definitely to our liking. Of course, there were those who drove by and looked at us darkly with scowls on their faces. But scowls didn't kill like their bombs did, so we ignored their scowls and showered them with flowers anyway.